In this short video, I wanted to touch base on the workshop called ASIST, which stands for Applied Suicide Intervention Skills Training. The workshop is designed to recognize suicidal behavior in your friends or your family members or your work colleagues or whoever you may come across. And it also teaches you on how to approach that behavior, what to say, what to do, how to react, because surprisingly, what anyone wants to say naturally or anyone wants to do naturally can actually cause more harm. So stay in the video and I'm going to elaborate on that further. I really do appreciate you checking out 5 Degrees of Freedom YouTube channel, which is designed to make a positive impact in this world via education, inspiration, motivation and support of its followers. My name is Alex and I hope you enjoy this video. So I've recently completed ASIST workshop and they've given me this certificate. Just earlier this month, in early April 2019, the workshop has been provided by LivingWorks and it's for free, and I'm just going to show you where to find information about this workshop online. You'll need to Google ASIST. The first line item was the one that's provided by LivingWorks. If you click on this link, it will give you a bit of scope of what this workshop is all about and a little bit of information about LivingWorks. LivingWorks provide this workshop all around the world, and this number is currently out of date. There's actually over 2 million people that are trained with ASIST, within ASIST system. But you can also go on, let's still ASIST, you can also go on Eventbrite in Australia and you can look up ASIST. For instance, I was looking up in Sydney ASIST. There's currently a couple of workshops available, but they are paid. The one that I attended was for free. If you're not in a rush, if you just wanted to do the workshop, you're curious about how to address suicidal behavior, I encourage you either call up LivingWorks or call up Lifeline, or just keep filtering, keep looking at Eventbrite, and eventually a free workshop will pop up in your area. Now, just to let you know, this video here is not designed to train you up on anything. This is just to create an awareness of existence of such a workshop. And I really highly recommend you attending the workshop. It's a 2-day workshop and it's very intense. It's 2 full days. You'll be going through role playing, a lot of videos, a lot of information, very intense. I think I found a cool spot to keep going with the video. Just going to get comfortable here. Now, after the 2-day workshop, you'll be given something like this. It's a little reminder of what you've gone through. There's a lot of information here, very condensed. But basically the actual system is here. It's called POL. You can Google it, look it up, it's available. To understand this system, you really need to attend the whole day or 2 days workshop, because the trainers will be going through each step of the process. You'll be understanding what all of these lines mean, what all of these terms mean. It's very in-depth. Once you understand every step of the way, this little PAL thing, it becomes a really good roadmap for you to go through each step of the way while assisting person in need. Just to quickly make you aware of what that means. First step says connecting with suicide. This is when you recognize the suicidal behavior. That means that person gives you invitations by saying some words or behaving in a certain way. And this is when you actually need to ask the most difficult question whether they are thinking about committing suicide, whether they are thinking about taking their own life. Now, to be honest, this question was a very, very difficult question to ask, even during the role play, and it was basically that first part of the system. It took us first day, complete day, to get familiar with and get somewhat confident with going through. The rest two parts are somewhat easier from my perspective. Second part of this system is called understanding choices. This is where you need to hear the person's story, not their lifetime story, but the story about recent events, why they thought that suicide is their only option. And then in that story, you're trying to hear a turning point. You're trying to understand where, at what point in time, a person suggests to themselves that suicide is probably not the only option, and you're trying to support that turning point via certain means that you'll learn during the workshop. And once that turning point is supported, this is where you're assisting live, saying that perhaps you're too confused at the moment and perhaps you're not too sure if the suicide is the only option. So can you make yourself safe just for now until you understand all of your options? What I've found surprising during this workshop is naturally what you try to do as a person who's supporting a person with suicidal thoughts is you're trying to highlight all the good things about life and what they have to live for. But the thing is, it's not your choice. You're not there to impose your views or your thoughts on how good or bad their life is, or life in general is. You're not there to change their mind either. It's only up to them to decide on that final step, whichever they want to take. You're only there to support that person during their time of uncertainty and help to come up with different options that are worth investigating, and should they wish to proceed with suicide, it's only up to them. It's their own decision. Don't take that control out of their hands, but help them out there with a safety plan while they're making that final decision. So I think this workshop is really beneficial for anyone who is interested in trying to understand how to react, how to behave themselves with a friend of yours or a family member who could be experiencing difficulties in their lifetime and could potentially be thinking about suiciding. I really encourage you to look it up, especially since it's free. You can find some free workshops available. And what surprised me as well is that apparently, according to Australian Bureau of Statistics, the last census, it was mentioned that there's 8 people per day that commit suicide. This is just crazy, and I thought I really wanted to understand what makes them to think that this is the only option, and how I could potentially help, support, assist them in that difficult moment of their life. I appreciate that you took your time and finished watching this video. Please leave some feedback. I would really appreciate that if you do. If you've gone to the workshop, leave some comments how you felt about the workshop and whether it was beneficial, whether you've used that information. Would be really interested. If you don't want to leave feedback in YouTube, you can contact me in Instagram. I'll be really happy to chat. I'll leave the link in the description of the video. And thanks very much again, guys. Next time.